So one last thing I want to leave everybody with before we sign off here. Right now, Thrive Fantasy has a one-day contest going up on Thursday, right? So you guys can go over there, use promo code ELITE. They'll give you a little bit of a bonus. On top of that, though, right now, there's a ton of overlay. I think it's like 2 of the 135 spots in this tournament are filled. So there's a good chance that we're going to get some overlay in this. Now, Thrive Fantasy is a little more along the lines of the sports betting side of things because it's a lot of prop bet stuff that's out there, over and under strokes, over under number of, birdies, number of pars, things like that. So I wanted to bounce a few of these off you to, kind of give everybody a little bit of an idea of what to go through this week. Some of these numbers are pretty aggressive. So let me ask this question first. Do you think that this is going to be one of those tournaments where the winner's minus 15, minus 20, minus 25? Or is this going to be another one of those where it's like minus 8 to minus 12? Because if that's the case, a lot of these numbers are not making sense to me. So typically, what would you think the final scores are going to be on this course?
Like 12 to 15, I would say, probably this week.
All right, so probably more in the middle, not really on the high end, but not really on the low end either, right?
Yeah, I would think somewhere around 12 to 15. You have to realize it's a par 70 and there's only 2 par 5s. So these guys are not going to get the easy birdie attempts that they would normally get. And when you're going to have less wedges into the greens, you're going to have less birdie attempts. I think Koepka last year, he was like 16 under. But, he won by 3 strokes. So I'm thinking 12 to 15 probably again this week.
All right. Now, the reason why I asked this question is a lot of the big payouts this week, when we play on Thrive Fantasy, you get, things that are more likely to happen, you're usually getting less than 100 points for. Things that are less likely to happen, you're getting more than 100 points for. And even with some of the big hitters, like, you mentioned Koepka here. They have him at 67.5 as his strokes. So basically, will he be 3 under on the first day or not? And that's an even money play there. So I know you like him, Paulie. Do you think he goes more than 3 under on the first day?
That one's pretty much a coin flip. That number's right on it. If I had to lean, I would lean under there just slightly. But that's one I'd probably have it, maybe 110 and 90 as the points. And we're seeing 100 and 100. So really not a massive edge either way there.
Frank, would you agree with that?
Yeah, I don't have much there. I would agree with Paul, yeah.
All right, so here's the aggressive numbers that I kind of wanted to bounce off you guys. Rory, 66.5 strokes in the first round. So you're looking at him having to be at least -4. You said Brooks won it last year at -16, which is basically -4 per round. So the guy who won the tournament last year basically averaged -4 per round. So it is a big number if he's able to go under that. Really, there's a bunch of these like this. Like Rory is 66.5. Rahm is 65.5, which is a very aggressive number. And then even JT, who I know, Frank, you like to win it, under 3.5 birdies, which would basically mean, obviously you could have a couple bogeys, but he'd probably be shooting in that same 66, 67 range in order to pay that one off as well. All 3 of those are plus money and big plus money, like plus 125, plus 135. You're probably going to need to hit one of those in order to win this. So if we do have to hit one of those, JT under 4 birdies or under 3.5 birdies, Rory 66.5, Rahm 65.5. Of those 3, which one do you think is the most likely to come about?
Maybe Rory. Rory showed the ability to play better earlier in the week, and he kind of fades throughout the rest of the, Saturday, Sunday, throughout the weekend. So I don't know what his tee time is. I don't know that they've come out yet, but especially if he's in the morning, I would.
It's going to be one wave usually.
So it'll be somewhat early anyway, I guess. Regardless, it won't be he could be finishing at like 6 or 7 p.m. maybe, but it's usually like middle of the day, right, for these.
Yeah, the tee times are probably between like 9 and noon, somewhere around there.
Yeah, so if I had to play one, I think I would take Rory just because he has shown the ability early in the week to play better than what he does later in the week. I think the number on Rahm is very aggressive in a lot of ways. He plays worse at the beginning and better at the end. Same thing with JT. So he's usually worse at the beginning and kind of gets into form. So maybe Rory, and I would rank them Rory, JT, then Rahm. Probably 65.5 is a pretty aggressive number for an average score.
Yeah. Paulie, how about you? Of those 3 big payout ones, any of those 3 pique your interest?
I would have the exact same rankings as Frank. They're going Rory, JT, and then Ron.
All right, so there you go. Definitely make sure you guys get over to Thrive Fantasy. Like I said, sign up with promo code ELITE. There are literally only 2 entries in the 135 entry tournament that they have right now, so definitely going to be some overlay there. Obviously not the most amazing prize pool, but again, money is money, and if there's going to be overlay, you got a better chance to win some. So get over there and take advantage of it.